Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen Existentialists. Welcome in, everyone, to the Gen Existentialists. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we're here with you for the next 20 minutes or so, although sometimes we get carried away with things, talking about all manner of stuff from a Gen X perspective. If you've joined us on previous episodes, you know that typically what we do is completely random. We spin Mega Wheel of Magnificent, get a topic, and roll with it. So, Bunny, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I think we're both kind of getting over seasonal colds and stuff, and it's intensely foggy outside.
It is,
which I like because, you know, makes you think there could be a werewolf right around the corner, which makes life exciting, especially when you're walking outside at night.
I keep looking for Rainbow Bright, but she doesn't show up. So.
Damn that Rainbow Bright.
I know.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I will spin Mega Wheel the Magnificent. 500 topics, actually 500 plus, because we've added some stuff to it. And the wonderful thing about this is I get to see the topic first because I'm spinning, and Bunny has no idea what's coming his way.
No, I'm an innocent bystander.
And I don't even know what this means. It says movie review from another wheel. That doesn't make any sense. That's not even a question. Mega Wheel has failed us.
Oh, well.
I think we need to hire a different wheel. We'll see what we get this time. Spinning again. Okay. This is interesting. Is there a difference between living and existing? And if so, what is it?
Oh, absolutely a difference.
Yeah.
I think we were just talking about this earlier. I have a colleague who is unfortunately on in-home hospice currently as we record this, which is very sad. But the thing is, this woman has really, really lived. We talked about living versus existing. Yeah. This woman has been dealing with cancers for the better part of almost 25 years. And maybe longer, actually. And it doesn't stop her from traveling the world, never stopped her from building all the stuff she wanted around her. You know, she has a gigantic gourmet kitchen. She has a swimming pool. She has a greenhouse. She has elevators. She has all sorts of wild, wacky things. And as her condition progressed, she never really stopped. She just found ways of dealing with it, like getting hotels in other countries that were close to hospitals. So just in case she had to go, she could get to one, you know, but it never stopped her. And I admire that. I think that's the core of living is really, it's that Zorba the Greek kind of, you know, thing, you know, where you're just squeezing every ounce of life out of
sucking the marrow out of life.
Exactly. Whereas existing is what a lot of us fall into the trap of, where we have a routine. We sleepwalk through our day. We go to work. We get up. We brush our teeth. We eat the same thing. We go to work. We hate it. We come back. We watch TV.
Yeah.
We fall asleep and repeat, repent, you know, rinse, repeat. And sometimes people just exist by just, I think the kids nowadays are calling it bed rotting. That's what it's called. It's just where you just spend all day in bed doing nothing. Yikes. And, you know, there's relaxation and then there's bed rotting, I guess, which is where you just don't feel any motivation to do anything. And I can't say that I would be as brave or as full of zest for living if I were confronted with the same sort of condition she has been.
Yeah.
I think I would turn into an existing person. That's just my personality. So that's a very kind of personal and morbid answer to that question, but that's my idea of living is going out and really taking what you want from this life.
Yeah. And and let's not split hairs. Everybody's different. Everybody lives their life differently. Nothing we're saying here is a condemnation of anyone for how they're living. I mean, I love coming home from work, grabbing dinner, and zoning out to some cool TV shows for a few hours. Sometimes that's what you need if you've had a really expansive day where you've been battling different things. Sometimes you need to decompress. But I think overall, what you're talking about with your friend is kind of an overarching attitude toward life,
Hmm.
that you're going to go do things, that you want to learn stuff. A day that goes by that I don't learn something new, and it can be something little, is a wasted day. Thankfully, I don't have many wasted days. Part of it is my job. Even now in private industry, in my safety job, I learn stuff all the time because different problems pop up. I find different hazards in our different business units and have to come up with different ways to try and help them solve them and keep things safe. Revising programs, researching regulatory standards. So there's always something new. And same thing with music and writing. There's always something new to create. Doing this show with you and the other shows that we've got going on with the Morning Pizza Radio Collective, there's always something new. And I think as long as you kind of look at things that way, just do something. Just be, you don't have to be super active. You don't have to go run a marathon. If you want to, that's cool. Just do something. Don't let life do you. You do life. That's kind of it. So living and existing, yeah, a lot of folks are happy just living. And I can see that. There's a certain allure to it.
Sure.
But nah, I'd rather do more.
Well, I think there's a point where you can say, I am doing this, or I am going here, or I am vacationing abroad, or I am whatever.
Yeah.
And I think there's a certain simplicity and a certain profoundness to just saying, I am.
Yeah.
It's just being here, and sometimes just existing is just enough. It's not for everybody, but the whole idea of the fact that you exist at all, the fact that you befriend people, the fact that you are a good brother, sister, son, daughter,
Yeah.
whatever you are, parent, whatever you are, that in itself is an act of creation and
Yeah.
energy, and you are here and you are vital.
And
sometimes
like,
that's enough.
yeah, just being here. I shared something on Facebook yesterday or the day before. It was Brian Cox, astronomer, talking about the one picture that was it the Hubble telescope or the newer one took of what was supposedly a section of dark sky. Didn't look like anything was there, and you leave the shutter open long enough and it's just this expanse of galaxies, and each one of the galaxies has hundreds of thousands of stars. And in his explanation, he's talking about how all of the light that's captured in that image came from billions of years ago. Everything that we see in that image has changed radically by the time that light gets to us. When you see those pictures of stars and things out in the cosmos, you're looking at history. That stuff doesn't exist in that exact way anymore because of how big everything is. And you look at how big everything is, and then you consider us here on one small planet, in one small galaxy, in one small solar system. And it makes you just want to kick every politician in the shins, kick every multi-million-dollar a year salaried CEO in the shins, kick every military quote unquote leader in the shins, and just say, there's so much more. There's so much more good, not only that we could be doing, but that we should be doing. And yet we focus on so much negative shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I think some of that's human nature, unfortunately.
Fuck humanity. Sorry. There you go. There's my political statement for the day. If
All
you're one
right.
of those people, if you're a divisive person, if you've got that kind of stuff in you, if that's the way you see life, go away. I don't need it. Life is too short to
You know,
worry about stuff like that. I can't stand bullies, and that kind of attitude smacks of bullying.
we talked about panspermia at one point in
Yeah,
time in the past, and that's something that
I think that would be a good band name.
I'm sure people would have a great time coming up with covers
Just
for that.
yeah, just think of the album covers and
No, I mean, the thing I try to impress on people when I don't know if people realize how special they are in a lot of ways. I mean, the fact that if you believe in panspermia, the concept is that some organic matter crashed into this planet at some point and created a big genetic stew that everything came from. And to do that, there's all sorts of mathematics I could go over, which is really boring, but they're saying that the kind of organic material we have in us comes from sometimes outside of the galaxy. So you can
yes,
imagine
absolutely.
a comet or a meteorite, aka a comet, has to come all the way into the solar system, and it has to hit Jupiter's gravitational pull in such a way that it doesn't slam into it. Jupiter is massive. So the astronomical equation alone for a small object to not crash into Jupiter by random chance is amazing. To be slingshotted toward where Earth is, then it has to get through the Kuiper Belt, which is nothing but asteroids and other things it can crash into. Then it has to hit the Earth, and then things have to evolve, and then people have to be here, and then people have to love each other and have sex, and that one sperm has to make it to that one egg. And all this has to happen so that you exist. And then you exist in this brief space time continuum blip, this moment that we exist in. And the fact that you're here and you're my friend, the fact that we have people in our lives that we love, wives,
Yep.
friends, parents, that is astronomically improbable.
Yep.
I mean, the Hitchhiker's
Just the
Guide has this
timing
whole.
alone. The
Oh,
timing
it's
alone for
amazing.
that piece of rock with
Yeah.
our ancestry on it to have hit at the right time on
Mm-hmm.
Earth to be able to evolve in the atmosphere in the way the Earth was at that point in time. When people say, are there other, habitable planets out there? Sure, there are. Are there other civilizations? There probably were,
Probably.
and there
Yeah.
probably will be. But again, the distance is so massive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into the Bob Lazar stuff of bending space time as a way to travel across things. We won't
Sure.
jump into that yet, but we may have a show coming up where someone might.
But I mean,
Just saying.
even if you don't believe in panspermia and you believe in creationism or something like that, where you think, well, God put everybody here for a purpose or a reason, the simple fact that you're here and you're here with the people you're with and you are loved by the people you're loved by is just, it's amazing. It's a gift
Yep.
that it even exists at all. So something to keep in mind when you're feeling a little like the world's getting you down. There's too much, Antifa versus the big machine and everything else, and everybody's mad at each other and stuff. This is what happens when people live too easy of lives. They
Yeah.
they create their own problems, but
And see,
people
we don't
aren't happy.
have to.
No, people aren't happy with just the wonders of the world. And
Yeah. If
it's hard to exist on wonder, but you have to remember it's still there.
We are rational beings, and we just lose our rationality to waves of emotion too often.
Yeah.
You know, you let anger carry you away, and suddenly you're off on a tangent, and you're not living for love anymore. You're living for spite
Mm-hmm.
and hatred and anger. And it just, I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. What was the
Indeed.
original question here? How did we end up?
What is living versus existing?
That's it. Living versus existing. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what happens here sometimes, folks. We kind of take left turns and veer around different stuff.
Do we have time
give the
for a
wheel?
short one?
I think we absolutely do. So we're going to give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin. And we're spinning, spinning, spinning. And here we go. So, perfect birthday presents dash theoretical.
Theoretical.
So from that, I'm going to say, what would be the perfect birthday present for you if there were no limits, either money, existence, like if you wanted Castle Grayskull for real, you could have it. What
You
would
know
be
what
your perfect?
I would love to have a lamp with a genie in it.
But you could only use it like the one time, I would think, right?
Yeah, like 3 wishes, right?
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to set a
Meet
genie
somebody that
free.
lived in a metal.
I've always wanted to set a genie free just to see what would happen.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that'd be really wild. So that's a complete wild, bizarre, theoretical birthday gift, let's say.
And see, I want to dig into that because a genie, a jinn,
Mm-hmm.
are they by their nature malevolent, or are they just the creatures they are? They just do what they do.
I have no idea.
And
It depends on the mythology you buy into.
and see, that's the thing. If you rub the lamp, the genie comes out, and you go, "I wish you were free." Does it go free and go rampaging? Does it go free and become a model citizen? Does
Wouldn't it
it
be
lose
exciting to
its
find out?
power? Well, that's the thing. I mean, it would be that quest for, can I do some good for me? Can I do some good with this?
Sure.
But in those stories, somehow every wish gets twisted somehow. And that's why I don't know that I would want to set the djinn free, because
See, I always wonder if maybe the djinn's just pissy because everybody takes advantage of it and uses it and then discards it. So my idea
mm,
is, how about if I show you compassion and friendship and I say, hey, this is going to be about you, not me. So you tell me what you would wish for and I'll wish for it for you, kind of a thing. And then we'll just see what happens with it.
and see, that's the thing. I wonder from the perspective of like the pig on the table in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
Mm-hmm.
that expects to be eaten and is
Mm-hmm.
happy about it because that's its lot in quote unquote life. What if you say you're going to set the djinn free and you absolutely offend the hell out of it
See,
because you're denying it what it's meant to do?
that's why I would ask it, what is your wish? And I'll wish it for you, because you can't wish for yourself. What do you really want? What would
But
make you the happiest? And I'll make
would,
sure you get it.
would it have the power to do that? Or would it like turn into some feedback loop and suddenly you're both stuck in the lamp?
Who knows?
There's a
It's
short story in this somewhere. I'm
it's
going to
Mega
write it.
Wheel. It's Mega Wheel the Magnificent on a grand scale. That's chaos. How
I
about
mean,
you?
literally.
What do you want for your birthday, theoretically?
Um, what do I want? Jesus. Yeah, we're so busy talking about freaking genies and lamps. I wasn't even thinking about my answer to the question. Um, I want to be the next Moon Knight. I want to be the Fist of Khonshu.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey
That
kids,
just
look that up if you don't know what that any of that means, because
well,
I don't.
here's what happened. I looked up and to my right in the studio, and there's a big Moon Knight poster. So that's what I went with. So
All
I have
right.
no idea. Um, Yeah, I'm stuck on the genie thing. I mean, literally, I want to write the story now, and you're going to be the main character. And just
Oh boy,
imagine the hijinks
the
that are going to
hijinks
happen.
indeed.
Well, that's going to about take us to the end of this edition of the Gen Existentialist. Bunny, you want to tell people how they can get in touch with us?
Sure, go ahead and drop us a line at morningpizzaradio@proton.me, or drop us a line at the Mixcloud page where you found this show or any of our shows.
Fantastic. We always love to hear from you. Send us your questions, your comments. And if you'd like to join us on the show, we're kind of working on ways to get things in here and have some guests. So until next time, this has been the Gen Existentialist. My name is Scott.
I'm Bunny.
We'll catch you next time. Have a good one.
See ya.